Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, in case you're not seeing it there. Also, I am giving in-person, I should say, readings in Herkimer, New York. Shoot me an email if you're near there and you want more details. The information for the decks and dice, all that stuff is going to be below. And if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. James4astral@gmail.com, James4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? A lot of action pushing forward. I think it's good so far. I don't know why I'm second guessing it. Okay. I don't know. Hold on. Let's get through it. So the base, I don't think what's going on is bad, but there's something with, like, you're not happy with what's going on here. So the question is why? Because if you're not happy with it, like, why is that? How is that? What is the deal? Something might be a little confusing. I feel like it is a little confusing. It reminds me of, like, this situation to me feels like somebody handing me a paper and saying, pick off of this menu, and then 5 minutes later putting a sandwich in front of me and walking away. And I'm kind of like, I didn't order. I ordered for you. They're closing. I had to order for you. So it's either that or nothing. And it's kind of like, why did you give me options if I didn't have any options? That's how this feels. And it's like, it's kind of like, I didn't even want this. It's kind of like, whatever it is, it's like, I didn't even want this. So it just reminds me, like, for me, for example, somebody gave me all these options on this menu, and like my least favorite, like a tuna sub, and it's like, that's what I get. It's like, you gave me options. I definitely didn't want that, but I'm hungry, so it's either this or nothing. I guess that's what I'm eating, and it makes me unhappy. So I'm seeing this, like, I feel like somebody's messing with me, and it's like, it's making me very unhappy. The Ten of Swords is like what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking. It's very important, definitely. But I get, like, it's not, I don't feel like there's anything really bad happening. It feels very bad for me, if that makes sense. Like, I hope that makes sense. Because, like, with this analogy I'm getting, like, I'm really unhappy with it. And I feel like it's something that keeps repeating. So it's really making me unhappy, but on the outside, nobody seems to understand why that's so upsetting to me. It's like it's all contained within me. On the outside, people don't understand that I'm really unhappy with what's going on here. There's a control thing here, isn't there? Somebody keeps doing this purposefully. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. This shouldn't be like this. Like, why is this happening? I keep getting that, too. It's like, I don't feel like it has to... This energy should work with you, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. And I keep getting that. So the reason I'm saying that is sometimes this talks about Aquarius. Star card is Aquarius card. It doesn't have to be, but somebody with those qualities, usually high intellect. Usually very compatible with Gemini. But this one is not. And so, like, I'm an intuitive reader, and I keep getting, that's why we're getting all these energies here where you're not happy, because it seems like this should be compatible with me, and maybe has in the past, but for some reason, this energy is not meshing well, at least not at the moment, and I feel like they're purposely doing this. So, like, they're trying to trigger something here. There's something here in the past where they are who they are. Do you know what this is? Like, is there a foundation that Gemini can connect with to understand this a little bit more? So it's not a question of intellect with Gemini. It's a question of like having the right angle to what you're dealing with, because you can see all the different possibilities. It's just having the right viewpoint. You know what I mean? If you're staring at the wall and there's a beautiful beach scene behind you, you might get some reflections, but you might not know what's exactly there. If we could change your viewpoint to where you can see what is there, you can do crazy things with that, and it can be very advantageous. But it's kind of like we gotta shift the viewpoint so you have a better understanding of what's actually there. Two of Swords reversed. There's no blocks here, but I feel like I know whoever I'm dealing with. Sometimes they're a jerk, and they seem to get off on it. I feel like I know that. Excuse me. Cough that never ends. I think this is another level of this. This is a complicated connection, whoever this is. Because they do this to me, but they'll also do good things for me at the same time. I feel like I'm being yo-yoed. I feel like this is a version of I don't like this. Because it's like somebody who makes sure I get a lot of good things, but also does a lot of things that completely drive me crazy. And it's really like, it's like hot and cold. It's very hot and cold at the same time a little bit. It's like one hand is in warm, very warm, comfortable water. The other hand's in ice water. And I'm just like, no matter what's going on, it's like one's too hot, one's too cold. And it just seems like sometimes we switch. This side's too hot, this side's too cold. But it's like, it's just a weird way to live. And I feel like it takes me off balance. It confuses things. It's weird. This energy does bring a lot of prosperity, and I feel like overall, that's what's weird with this. It seems like this energy should get along with me, and I feel like I should get along with it, and I think they have my best interests, but there's something really wrong with this. It just feels really wrong to me. Very, like, what was that movie? I want to say it was My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where the one person gave this analogy about like how a married couple works, and she said that the man was the head, and if the man is the head, the woman is the neck. And I don't think it has to be gendered. I don't think that has to be gendered, but when you have a situation where one person actually is making the decisions, or if that's how it was played out, the other person can angle it to their benefit. This person's the neck. This person is playing that neck part, and they're positioning you in certain places, and it feels manipulative. It does not feel good to me. Well, there's things they want. The Magician card it's an interesting card. It depends where it's going. It depends who's in control of it. It depends what they want. The Magician can make a lot of things happen. And there are things happening at this time. This Magician card does feel like they're constantly making things happen. There's always things happening. Maybe that's why I'm tripped on that happening in the wrong spot. Constantly things going, constantly things going, constantly things going. Sometimes by keeping the energy moving, that's how they keep people from seeing the truth. That's how they keep people too busy to really dig down and really find out why this is going on and why that's going on. Because if you know what's going on, well, if you know the reason why things are going on, that might change what you would choose. And I feel like they're saying maybe this is a time to kind of step back and kind of reap what you sow, or help this other person reap what they sow. Because that Harvest card is saying this is a moment in time where something's a little off, and you might have a chance to kind of like expose what's really going on here if you slow down and see it. And I almost feel like maybe this person is kind of playing this yo-yo game with you to keep you distracted in a way, to keep you distracted with these other things. I've seen people do that, where they make these minimal problems that really aggravate people, and then when those people are aggravated, they're centering on what's aggravating them. And this whole crazy circus is going on over here, but they're centered on what's aggravating them, so they don't notice the crazy circus over here. That might be something that's going on here with this. Because Gemini, yes, I think is very intelligent. but you have to be angled toward it. You have to see what's really going on. You have to be angled correctly to deal with it. If you're not looking at it, like, you know what I mean? If you think about like walking through a store, and if it's a larger store, and you just think if you think it's all a clothing store, and you never get to the part where there's some furniture or whatever, you never go to check out the furniture if you don't think it's there. You're not going to look for it if you think, oh, it's just a clothing store. I need a table, but I don't think I'm going to get it in a clothing store. You never look for it. But if you're like, if somebody says, wait, look over this way, and you're like, oh, there's chairs over there. Let me go over there and see what possibilities are there. Totally different thing. There is calamity here. If I said that, I think I have. It's all around this situation. There's problems all around it too. It's just all around it. Slowing it down, but in a realistic way for you, is what would be helpful. That could change the whole situation. You got the World, and you got the Page of Pentacles this way, which is telling me slow it down, but in a way that makes sense to you, which is going to be different for everybody. Like, how slow can this go and you not feel like you're missing out? You know, how slow can this go when you don't feel like you're stagnating? You don't want it to go so slow that, you know, nothing happens, but you want to slow it down so you can dig in a little deeper and figure out, like, why this, why that. You need time to research a little bit better. Whatever the situation is, though, you might not have the luxury to slow it down a lot, but you should be able to slow it down at least a little. At least in certain moments. There should be at least a few moments where you can slow it down at least a little so you can look deeper and find out what's going on here. I feel like there's an opportunity coming up for you to really give the chance. I feel like I'm letting somebody else know that something isn't right. I'm coming into this very softly with the Seven of Pentacles. I'm just starting a possibility. I'm starting I feel like I'm starting some type of inquiry or something. But I feel like I gotta be cognizant. I gotta be aware. Let's use the word aware. I gotta be aware of the effect I'm having. This doesn't have to be like, I think something really bad is going on here. I don't have to come in like an alarmist. Be careful of that. Be careful about how somebody's taking you, because it could create like this alarmist situation with the Tower card. This is an option. This is coming in the position in this reading. It doesn't have to go there. Be careful about how you're understood. Be aware of how you're understood. A way to come into this that might be more advantageous for you, a possibility, is kind of like, this isn't right. I don't know why. I feel like we should do more research into it. Even if you found the answer, I would still come into it like, this seems odd. I noticed this isn't in the right spot. Maybe we should find out why. You might fully well know why. I would have other people like question it and let them find it on their own, help them find it on their own, but I would be careful not to just give them the answer. Because I get like, there's some stress with that, because I feels like I want them to find it on their own, but I'm just like, are they actually, do they see it? Like, did they see it? Like, do they see it? I feel like I'm, if I don't give them the answer, I feel like I'm like, do they see it? Like, I keep feeling that energy with the stress here with the Nine of Swords, but I do get, you'll have a success and abundance. If they find it, like, we want them to research it. We want to maybe help them research it a little bit. But we don't want to give them the answer. We want them to find the answer, even if you know it. It kind of reminds me of helping a kid with math homework. You want to teach them how to do it. You want to help them kind of figure it out on their own. You want to kind of direct it and help them get where they need to go, and encourage them when they go the right way, and then reinforce it and give them the confidence and help them build the confidence when they get there. But you don't want to just be like, oh, that's this. You want to be careful of that. It's a possibility. This could go better because you got abundance and success here. By kind of doing it that way, you get more abundance and more success by doing it that way. The situation is meant to go better. There is the possibility for this Sun card and people getting along a lot better. Whoever's doing whatever they're doing, I'm just stepping aside from that. This is kind of like overall the situation doing better, overall you enjoying it better. Whoever's doing what they're doing, I'm just stepping aside from that. I don't know exactly how that person would add into this. It depends on what they did and what you're dealing with, I guess. So I'm just kind of stepping to the side, like, I don't know about them. I feel like whoever's doing that, whatever's going on with this, whoever this is, because I keep getting they should be compatible, but they're not. I hear every now and then I don't know why I'm not. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't want to say it, but I feel like I should. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's how that works for that. And that's not your responsibility. So I don't know what to say about that. I don't feel like that's your fault in any sense. But, you know, people want to play games. They get what they get. You're going to be fine after this. There is this weird energy of, like, trying to understand different levels. You don't have to box yourself in with this. The study card with these two, you don't have to box yourself in with this. There's something about the after effect. And before you go too far with searching for answers, an idea just to think about before you go down that road, what is the outcome you're looking for? And is this going to change an outcome for you? Is this going to do something, like, are you going to find a version of this that's going to do something better? Because I'm getting, you got to be careful before I go searching down all these paths, because that Eight of Swords makes me feel like I'm getting stuck in this quagmire where I keep looking down these roads and I keep trying to figure out what's going on, and I feel like it keeps doubling back. And even though I keep learning more, there's just more pathways. It's kind of like, it's like I think I'm in a little town. It turns out I'm in this major city, and it's a major city that just keeps expanding. And the more I research, the more I learn, the more things change, the more things grow. It's kind of like, well, when I learned that, it was over here, but now that's gone and something else is there. And every time I go back to something I thought I learned, I'm more aware of the history than the current situation. You don't have to get tied up in this situation. The situation, whatever this is, it's got this, you got different ways of handling this that could go better for you. There's one way that's kind of rough, where I feel like you take on too much responsibility and it gets very heavy, and it feels like I have to take on all this responsibility. You don't have to take on all this responsibility. There's something with an overload of responsibility, kind of like I get brain blocked because there's so much going on. You don't have to go that direction. Another possibility you could go is just kind of like, all right, that was what it was, but I think it's better now. I'm keeping my eye on it, but I'm just letting it go. I'm centering my energy other places because I don't want this to drive me crazy. It reminds me of, like, you know, I'm trying to understand how they explain this to me. There was a person that got distracted easily, and I remember them trying, they're like, well, I live in a house where there's constantly things going on and it's hard for me to study. But the way they got around it was they put earbuds in and they played certain music that didn't, I think they said they didn't have words. I don't know if that matters for anybody. But by playing that music and then facing themselves in a direction where they couldn't see what other people were doing, they were able to study and get what they needed done. And I feel like this is an analogy for that. I'm shutting off the modes of communication, and I'm segregating myself to these other things, and I'm keeping myself in this other direction that I want to be in, and I'm not allowing these other influxes of energy or influxes of information to come my way. I'm just not even allowing it. That's another version. And the third one I'm seeing is realizing that this situation is all over the place and just always will be. There's just going to be random things with it all over the place, and just kind of like going, I'm not responsible for some of this. I can just handle what it is per day, and per day it keeps changing, and I'll just do the best with it per day, and kind of letting it go, and kind of like if we're going to do the same analogy with the house where there's a lot of people, there's constantly things going, the people are responsible for themselves. Just because there's sounds going off doesn't mean I have to think about it, doesn't mean I have to be concerned with it. I'm just going to center on what I'm doing, and I'm just going to realize that there's always sounds. There's always sounds, there's always things going on. Just because something's happening doesn't mean it has to get my attention. I feel like that's just something that some people can train themselves to do. They gave 3 different ways to go about it. Hopefully that's helpful in some way. Because I feel like there's 3 different options about how this could go at the end. And those could just be stepping stones for you where you're like, well, that's an idea, but I could take it here, or that's an idea, or I could take it there. Could just be a stepping stone to help you move forward. Whatever works for you, hopefully it's helpful reading. Okay, I think we're done. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.